The time, 1941 to 1945. The concentration camp hospital is not Germany's main political execution machine. Millions of Jews and Russian prisoners of war are murdered and tortured to death. The time, 1965. It is 20 years later, and the political climate of Europe has changed enough that it has become politically convenient to prosecute those who are responsible for the atrocities at hospitals. This, then, is the story of that trial. The words you are about to hear are taken from the actual court transcript.
The investigation, February 1977.
When we had crossed the track and lined up in front of the camp gate, I heard a prisoner say to one of the women, "That's our cross truck takes gas to the crematorium! Your relatives we killed there!" The woman began to scream. "Ah!" An officer who had overheard the prisoner turned to the woman and said, "But my dear woman, how can you believe what the prisoners tell you? They're either criminals or insane. Look at the way their ears stick out and their shaved heads. How can you believe such people?"
We were convinced that our orders were part of achieving some top-secret military objective. Your Honor, I almost broke down. The whole thing made me so sick that I had to be hospitalized. But I want to make it very clear that I only looked on from the outside and that I kept my hands out of it. Your Honor, I was against the whole thing. I myself was persecuted by the system.
What happened to you?
I was arrested because I expressed defeatist opinions. I was in prison for 3 months. After my release, I was caught up in an enemy attack. As an old soldier, I was able to help with the evacuation and help save many lives. My own son was killed. Today, at this trial, we should not forget the thousands and millions who lost their lives for their country and the things that are being done against us. All of us. I want to make it very clear that we only did our duty, even when that duty was hard and even when it grieved us to do it. Today, after our nation has built itself up after a great and devastating war, we should concern ourselves with other things than blames and reproaches that should be thought of as long since atoned for.
By the time the court had adjourned, hundreds of witnesses had been called, and a total of 23 men had been charged with the atrocities of Auschwitz. 22 of them were found guilty and executed.